Hey, great almost midday special call board meeting. Let's see what novedades tienen. It's, of course, Sylvia is there.
Motion passes unanimous 5-0.
Sylvia, the head of the snake, is there, so it should be an easy flowing meeting.
The next item is a public comment period. Persons wanting to address the board during public comment shall, before the beginning of the meeting, print their names and the subject matter on the sign-in sheet provided at the entrance of the boardroom. Each speaker is limited to 3 minutes. Our first speaker is Albert Alegría.
Oh, el amigo de Carlos Elizondo. Ahí está Carlos. Vamos a ver qué dice Mr. Alegría. Great job, board. Y'all are doing amazing.
Good morning.
Good morning, members of the board, President Ms. Peña, Superintendent Dr. Gutierrez,
Ahí está mi opponent,
ladies and gentlemen.
the rich girl.
First of all, I'd like to welcome back all Bisd employees. I hope they have a great year. As you begin your 2020-21 school year as virtual teaching, learning from home, we're reminded that teaching is what you do best, and your response to the new challenges as you navigate your instruction has been amazing. Our classified employees have also answered the bell and have not faded or wavered.
Teacher
by
seat.
placing themselves
Board?
in harm's way
No.
to deliver, learn, organize, work, assist teachers, administration, maintenance at work sites, all with interest and intent of doing a professional and effective job for the school district. We at Texas Valley Educators Association have heard your uproar for better or not enough
Hey, Manny.
personal protective equipment, or PPE, in campuses or in your department. Your concerns to this serious matters have not gone without advising administration and board members of the dire need and expectations of those PPEs.
And they haven't provided.
Which brings me to the point.
They only provided expired. Remember?
If we are disseminating PPE to teachers, I would also recommend that those safety supplies be also given to our classified employees, because they too will be engaged with our student population when we do start face-to-face. Plus, their recent return to campuses places them in harm's way
Yes.
if we don't do everything in our power to afford them those safety supplies.
Like a sharp.
Thank you for listening, and enjoy the rest of your morning.
This guy is the head of the TVEA,
This concludes our public comment
one
period.
association.
Recommend approval to purchase COVID-19 equipment, hotspots, devices, temperature readers, desk shields, and refillable bottle stations.
Shouldn't have they voted on this
Exceed $5,554,000.
$5 million?
Equipment being purchased in preparation for when.
Should they have ordered this a long time ago?
It is safe to allow students and teachers to be able to come back to schools and do in-school learning safely.
Oh, wait, guys.
Have a second?
Second.
They are dipping into the general fund. And let's see what Gutierrez says.
Do you have, okay. First of all, thank you, Ms. Peña, and all the board members and the audience, everyone out there. First of all,
Another
welcome
$5 million for
to
Sylvia.
Another school year. So this 2020-2021 school year is very different, but we got started yesterday, and I've been visiting schools. Everyone out there has been very helpful, from our paraprofessionals and to all our professionals.
You don't even say hi to him.
A very good experience that we've had so far. And yesterday we had.
Did you go to Sharp?
We got it off the ground with all our teachers and our students and our support staff. And I just want to say that it's been going very well.
You don't even
And
acknowledge
we're
our
still
support staff.
working with making sure that every student has access through a device. And this is part of us having a special call board meeting and having some items on the agenda so that we can continue providing devices, hotspots for our students.
Okay,
so
wait a
that
minute.
We can continue with distance learning.
They want
We
hots.
know that we have an order until the end.
That's not what she said. She said that this was for when they go back to face to face. So you're ordering $5 million worth of hotspots and laptops for when they go back
Thank you to everyone out there.
back to face to face.
Their cooperation, their patience.
Does that make sense to anyone?
As we are navigating through this new process, new learning that we have through distance learning, but it's been going well. We worked some glitches or problems, but they've been working. We continue to work on them.
Tell them about
And
how
if the board approves today's item, not tonight's, today's items.
anda bien
we will
sacado, bien
continue to
toqueado.
Provide every device and hotspot to every child. I don't want to lose a child because of a tablet. I don't want to lose a child because of a hotspot. I want to make sure that every child in BISD has all the technical support and the devices that they need.
It doesn't make sense.
With us.
The item
I
says
want to say a big thank you to the entire BISD family and staff for your help.
it's completely
and
equipment will
supporting
be
the process
purchased
of
in
every
preparation for when
family.
COVID-19 threat is completely minimized and it is safe to allow students and teachers to be able to come back to school and do in-school learning
including
safely. That's what the item says.
Personal protective equipment. Also, we resolved that. We've been working on that to make sure that all
No,
our staff has their.
it doesn't make
personal
sense.
protective Equipment. I want to thank some of you board members called me and we acted on it to make sure that we got on it so that everyone has their personal protective equipment. We figured out what was the issue. It's not the lack of the items because we have them. The inventory is there. It's just the communication that we had to make sure we took care of that.
No.
Everyone.
It doesn't make sense. Let me read it to you again. The $5 million, $5.5 million are equipment being purchased in preparation for when COVID-19 threat is completely minimized and it is safe to allow students to be able to come back to campus and do school in school learning safely. That's not what he said.
Monday through Friday, at every elementary school. So kids that are in middle school and high school can go to any elementary school to pick up their meals from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. Monday through Friday.
McAllen delivers.
To all students, and the students don't have to be in the car. The parents can be in the car only, and we will provide them with the meals of their children. If they go pick up
Superintendent,
their meals anytime.
that has nothing to do with this item.
10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
Ah,
Elementary schools, and we are serving all BISD students, including middle school and high school. They can go to any elementary school and pick up
McAllen is delivering.
Everyone, Monday through Friday, from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
What about parents that can't go pick up?
Breakfast and lunch meals that we are serving, and we want to serve all our kids and make sure that everyone gets their meals as well. So, just a big announcement out there to everyone to visit all our elementary.
I give you a big fat zero.
To all our students, elementary and secondary.
A zero.
So, I'll pass it on to my deputies, but I think there's a question by Mr. Garcia.
No, just in addition to the meals, we need to remind them that it's for BISD students only.
Ooh,
And I
Nombre
guess
idiota.
children do not need to be present, but they need to take their barcodes for each child.
Yes, and we're providing the barcodes.
Habla por hablar el
when
imbécil.
they go, if it's their first time. So we're giving them the barcodes so that way they use those barcodes moving on, and that would expedite the serving of meals. By having all 34 elementary schools, we don't have long lines. We are expediting the process pretty fast. So the meals are pretty much served in a very fast track process without having to have the long lines. Before we had them because we only had like 10 to 12 sites district-wide. Now we have 34 sites, which is 34 elementary schools throughout the district. Go to the nearest elementary school, all elementary
Deliver the
students,
food.
all secondary students, any elementary near you from 10 a.m. to 1 p.m. We are serving breakfast and lunch.
Go ahead.
With the parents listening, I think what you said is very significant because I know I have, my employees, I allow them to bring their children. It's a close-knit family and they hang around each other all the time. So I'm not worried about that. We have some real controls there. But they didn't go pick up meals because they didn't have the barcode. They weren't sure how to get them. So when they make it the first time to a school, just give them their name, they'll look it up or something like that, and then they can get it. that the way it's gonna work?
Yes, our staff is at the sites of each elementary school to provide them. If they don't have the barcode, obviously they need to go.
After
pick up
4
the
weeks,
meal,
they're going
and
back
then
to
they will
school.
be given their barcode, and then from then on, they can use that barcode to get their meals. So
Then you said that we might be, also, in some cases, using the buses to.
Why isn't anyone stopping them? It has nothing to do with the item they're voting on.
Like the other children.
that's a good point, Mr. Galvan. On Monday, we are going to start
Hey!
utilizing our buses
Right back.
to go to the neighborhoods, because we understand there are students that the parents are working parents and they don't have a ride to go to the elementary schools. So we will be sending out our buses throughout the community to also give pass out meals to our students that cannot get to the elementary schools because of a lack of transportation on their part. Then we'll take care of the transportation services with the meals. So I'm glad you reminded me of that, because we're starting that
¿Qué dijo?
service on Monday and
Deliver?
get it off the ground as well, so that we can reach out to as many kids as possible.
Ándele, canijo. Me gusta cuando me hagan caso.
The principal there informed me that over half the parents don't even have a car. And that's the case in some of the other schools too.
Me gusta cuando me hagan caso.
Thank you very much. Welcome back to everybody. Just a couple of questions. I remember the meeting that we had, actually, in facilities, very good meeting. Ms. Brown from the last facilities, everybody that was there.
Mírala.
But my understanding
Qué
was
chula,
that you all did
vieja.
the temperature checks. You're going to do the kiosks. You're going to do one for each campus and probably some of the departments as well. But the backup only lists 50 kiosks. So since we have 52 campuses and about 28 departments that are probably needing those things, I just wanted to know, did you prioritize or
More money.
We're prioritizing, first of all and foremost, the campuses. To have, I think the secondaries, we're gonna have 2, and then the elementary is 1, because the scanning of that is how many per hour? I mean, you have the data, Dr. Cantu?
Yes, thank you, Dr. Gutierrez. It's over, I don't remember the exact number, but over 1,000 individuals can be scanned per hour. So what we were looking at was at the secondary level of campuses that are very large, making sure that that was available for them.
Yes, and I understand, and we applaud you for that. I think everybody was in consensus that we wanted that, but it says, the backup only says you're ordering 50. So that was the concern when we have over 52 campuses and those other departments. And then you already said that the high schools were going to get 2. If we're talking about 6 high schools, that's already 12 off the bat. So now you have 38 left. And then the middle schools we're supposed to get, and then the elementary. So someone's not going to get something based on your numbers. So unless it's a oversight and it's.
We looked at the 50, but we also know that the teachers have also the thermometers. Every teacher that we provided with a thermometer.
My
And I think we're
Lord.
thinking of some of the smaller schools that the teachers could do it out of the classroom in the event when they go into the classrooms, because they have the thermometers. But we were looking at the larger
$5.5 million.
that are going to be hundreds of kids to use those devices.
I guess the question real quick, piggyback real quick.
She always
Wouldn't it be
piggybacks.
wiser and safer to monitor the child when he enters the building and then wait till he gets to the back of the classroom because he has to walk.
Because she's the head of that snake.
Dr. is concerned that we have someone at the door as they're walking in, because every restaurant we go to right now, ladies and gentlemen, they maybe, or any business.
Love you, Rob.
Let's go past the front door and they do the actual monitoring of our temperature. And I think that's what she's referring to. Instead of letting the child come in and go to the third wing to the inn and walk without getting checked. That's the concern that some of the parents are bringing up. So how can we do it so everyone in every building that is BISD has that particular device?
Yes,
at the
after 4
entrance
weeks.
of that building?
Is that device kind of like a permanent device installed, or is it like kind of like a portable one that you can move around?
Ya vente
It is a
ahorita,
portable
Robert.
device that it has a stand
Vente.
that we can move to different locations. It's not recommended because it is a piece of equipment, so we would like to find some areas that are visible to the staff, so that way we can monitor it. But it could be used as a portable device.
Okay. So going back to Dr. Atkinson, then, if 50, we were looking at 50, simply because, again, there's also that handheld thermometer by the teachers that they have. So, and every teacher has one.
And maybe have one of those, someone holding that at the entrance. Have an individual, the way they do in the rest of your businesses in the community. There's that person with a handheld one checking them as they walk in. Maybe that's a help. Dr. Atkinson.
Yeah, and just to, I guess to clarify the
Is-
concern that when we met, it was each campus was gonna get one. You know, if you needed to get another one or two for another campus, not a problem, but everybody was gonna get one, and this just.
Not for
indicates that
sure, but
somebody's
that's what they're pointing at.
Because then the burden then goes to the teacher, the counselor, or somebody else to step up, and we're already at this point. I just don't want people to think that maybe smaller campuses aren't important enough as some of the larger campuses and so forth. And we've always said, especially now because of our counts, we want to make sure everybody feels as important as the next person. And I just think that if we start saying some campuses aren't going to get it, maybe their numbers are smaller, someone else can do it on their campus, I think we fall into that criticism that we're trying to avoid.
Okay, then we would have to revisit it with where we can provide 2 per secondary and 1 per elementary. I think that because of the secondary, the numbers are much greater than elementary and then 1 per elementary. So let's, if we can then, if we could get approval that to go up to 1 per campus, 1 per elementary and 2 per secondary.
Oh God, you're so stupid, folks.
Go ahead, Ms. Drew.
This is the
I
most.
hate to stretch the 50 thermometers that we have, but I'd also like to see some big departments, this build, the cab, maintenance, facilities, these areas also, I think that employees need to have their temperature taken. I've heard some concerns about that, and I think it's something we need to look at as well.
And I agree with that, because ladies, you and gentlemen, you've all heard of OJT, on the job training. Right now, we're OPT, on pandemic training. So, you know, on a light note, please understand, and I'm saying this for the reason that what's happening now, we're on pandemic training. And
Shut up.
We realize what we've done is good, but we can do better.
You haven't done anything.
This is the reason we have our meeting and the input for the public. We appreciate it, because this is something that happens every 100 years, and we're going to be pros at it. And then hopefully in 100 years from now, when God calls us home, that other crew, they'll have to go through OPT again. But
Shut up,
now,
Minerva.
please understand, you are doing your very best.
No, you're not. You're
We
stupid.
understand the concerns of the public to try to put them in and know that their health is our number one priority all across the board.
Not true.
Mr. Cowan?
I made the motion, and it would be in order that we could include, at least what could change that Dr. Gutierrez said, plus give you permission to go ahead and place them at facilities where we do have large number of people coming in. I mean, CAV has various entrances. You might need 2 over there. A lot of people work there. This place here, 1, because everybody comes through the front door. And I would amend my motion to allow you to do that. You have some flexibility in what you can spend without board approval. So if you have to amend this, we can correct that, September the 1st, if we needed to, we can correct it later on. We'll probably have a couple of special call board meetings because it doesn't seem like we can do everything without doing it right now. It's complicated times. But if you'll go along, forget who seconded and approve.
Dr.
Okay,
Atkinson made the motion and you seconded, sir.
Yeah, Sylvia Atkinson made the motion for $5.5 million. Qué raro.
Forgot who made the motion.
Yes, I actually made a note to ask Dr. Gutierrez just to confirm to us that he does have actually an account that we had already approved previously that allows him that flexibility.
Okay.
So I think this is probably, if I'm looking at it, this is local and federal funds anyway. So you have that flexibility to be able to add to that, to meet the need. But again, the concern again, and I know that you said secondary 2 for each secondary, and at the high schools, you have that, you definitely have that support. The middle schools, you have some elementaries that are larger than some of your middle schools. So just keep that in mind.
Yes.
Keep that in mind. Keep that in mind, because all things aren't equal. It's up to us to make them as equitable as possible. So thank you.
Dr. Gutierrez, I see this as local funds, but is there any chance that we'll get reimbursement on any of this from the government or anything? Is there anything out there right now?
I know Dr. Cantu has been on all of this
I know,
accounts.
she's done a good job with it.
So anything besides our own money?
Yes, the account that we're looking at for this, and there's some timelines, if you recall, that there's buckets of funding coming in and there's timelines. So some will be applicable for the Coronavirus Relief Fund, the CRF. Some may be FEMA, but both the CRF and FEMA are 75% reimbursement. And so those are the two buckets that we're looking at, and it depends on the timeline when they were purchased.
And I just wanted to say that the thought that came with the 50 devices is because we are evaluating everything that we're buying, and we have been buying a lot of equipment that was not budgeted before. So everything is
White chocolate covered strawberries
we are taking money out.
from
And so we've been studying everything that we're buying because we see that for how long is this going to be utilized?
Dulce.
And, like, I don't have a problem with tablets because we're always going to use them.
They're good.
Chromebooks, the laptops, the hotspots, even the water fountains where they're going to fill up their bottles. That's the future of the water fountains from before are going to be removed, and kids are going to have to bring their own bottles and fill them up. So we see those are long-term expenses that are going to be here for years to come because that's the way we are going to operate moving on. This temperature devices, it told me, the superintendent, I was being a little conservative saying, well, how many are we going to need? Is this the way, are we going to be taking body temperatures of students and staff from now on, or is this a very temporary expenditure? And that's where
$5.5 million.
I'm operating like that because I'm looking ahead for how many years?
See.
Is this something that's going to be the future or the norm, or is this a temporary expenditure? And so I saw this more of a temporary one than being the norm from now on. And so that's why I was conservative. And that's why you see it at 50 because we were just being conservative, looking at long-term versus short-term. And this was one of those that was a short-term versus the others. I don't have a problem because the plexiglass that the kids are going to have, we're always going to use those. Teachers are going to use it when kids are doing tests, doing assignments, doing work on their own. So everything that we've been buying, I see it from now on. That was one of those that I don't know how long we're going to be using those temperature devices. And that's why I was more on the conservative side in that manner. That's why I wanted to explain to you all how it came to 50.
Yeah, and we agree with that 100%. But one thing we want to rest assured the community, there's not enough money in the world to replace you if anything would happen to you. So I know where your conservatism is coming from, and I know that this board will agree that when it comes to money, you need to do what we need to do to take care of today. Because if we don't have tomorrow, then there's no use for us to save the money because we're not going to be here tomorrow. So I respect your conservatism. Just understand that the board is supporting you 100%, that you get out there. And if it might be a little temporary thing, but it is to protect you and have you live till you're 100, then it was worth the investment, no matter how temporary we use it. Rest assured that you will always have our support for that. Mr. Khan.
Yeah, on this device, on these kiosks,
418,000.
people are going to walk through them. My understanding is they're pretty accurate. Somebody's got a fever. The little pistol, they're not real accurate. I mean, so that, and Dr. Fauci, I heard him talking about that, really is not super reliable, so it may not detect the temperature, especially something where somebody's like 99.5, something like that. It may just underestimate it or whatever. So, but I think taking on what Ms. Peña said, and this is an important point, you would want them at all schools and all facilities simply because you don't want somebody to walk all the way through the whole building. They have it, and then they get to the classroom and they just check their temperatures, and my God, you're at 103, and then the whole hallway has germs in it, everything else. So it's better to do it outside. And the other thing is, if somebody has one of those little guns and they're checking temperatures, they get exposed. This thing, they go through a kiosk, they're by themselves social distancing, so it's a lot safer. So I mean, it'll spend a little bit more, but let's just protect everybody, including yourself, doctor.
And remember, the flu's been around for many centuries. So this would be a good way to get the flu and continue using it daily. As soon as we find out that you have a fever, we very politely say, can you go home? So we can make sure that we can stop a lot of other illnesses, not just the COVID. Anyone else? I would like to welcome Dr. Tipton. Welcome.
All right, then we will take the feedback, and we will look into those then additional devices at the different areas so that we can equip them, but just want you to know that we're also thinking short-term, long-term, and all those kinds of things that we need to take into account. Because a lot of these expenses have been a surprise to all of us as we move on. But yes, safety is always gonna be a priority.
Here's cookies. And mine will come into that room. I'll drop mine off later. Thank you. Put this here.
Ms. Ben?
Well, it's kind of a trippy deal. Look, it's purchase preparation COVID-19. This is what's funny about it. First, they say that it's for.
Announcements, sir?
They said it's 5.5 equipment being purchased in preparation for when COVID threat is completely minimized and it's safe to allow students and teachers to be able to come back to school and do in-school learning.
Regular scheduled board meeting coming up.
So what do we need before we do that? I'd like to give my colleagues an opportunity to say, like.
Yeah,
quickly what's welcome
exactly.
for all
So
employees.
what they said at first was that it was to buy more hotspots, more stuff for right now for distance learning. So is it for distance learning now? Or you want to know these? Or is it for the hotspots or for later on?
Madam Ms. Benny, just to welcome back to the staff,
So it's not
the
really
students,
clear.
the parents,
No.
everybody. I know this is an unprecedented school year, but I know that one of the things that BIC always prides itself is in the true grit and commitment and dedication to bettering the community. So we know that our teachers, our counselors, principals, everybody, our diagnosticians, I had a shout out to our special ed population, staff that serve. our
Give
special
back
ed
the
students.
money.
I know there's some extra, care that's being taken right now, and I just want to thank you very much from the bottom of my heart. Having
From all your pocketbook.
been a special ed teacher myself, I know that it's a very, very rewarding experience when you know that you're touching those lives. And
You're
improving
touching
them.
the
So,
bank account.
Thank you, shout out, and Dr. Dennis, your staff, your deputies, the AAs, Dr. Cecilia, y'all been great. Ms. Lopez, Ms. Longoria, everybody there has been awesome with the staff members, have a lot of positive feedback. I know that going into this week.
That has to get on camera.
A little hit and miss on a couple of things, but with the true spirit of BIC, you've been able to come out like champs. So just congratulations, and God bless you.
Oh, there they go congratulating themselves.
The head of the snake has spoken.
I want to welcome back all the students,
Oh,
parents,
God.
employees, and the community.
Here comes
We're
your
back in
minions.
session now. The start of the school year is always an exciting time, and I think this year is going to be even more exciting. I think we're going to make history this year. We're going to talk about this
Yes.
year for many years to come, and we're going to look back on it with pride because we will have done some amazing things in the area of learning. We're all committed to it, and we're going to make it a great year. Thank you.
I'd like to welcome everyone, especially the staff and all the parents in the community who believe in us and have their children.
She can't even
Rest
speak.
assured that everyone in this district is here to take care of each and every one of our children, our students, every employee.
Exactly, Chris.
Whereas God to continue to bless each and every one of us, that we move forward and keep us healthy,
Yes.
blessed, and full of life, so we can go on and we can have our grandchildren and great-grandchildren come back and say, what a wonderful job the people did to make sure that this country kept growing and continue to be the best on the planet. So thank you, God bless you, rest assured, we will get through this, and you will come out at the other end, looking like $1 million and knowing that you made it, and you.
No,
are the
5.5
best.
million bucks, you
And
idiot.
And you did it at your best, so thank you, and welcome to each and every one of you. Dr. Tipton.
Thank you and welcome to the 2021 school year, and a special shout out to all our seniors for this year, class of 2021. And with so many predictions with this whole pandemic, one of the things that we know for sure is no one is predicting the end of the world, right? So I look forward to all the stories of positivity, of hope, and love. So congratulations and welcome back.
Shit, shut.
Mr. Young?
I want to welcome back everybody, the teachers, the parents, bringing the children, getting them online, the children. I had the pleasure of, last week visiting every single school just to see what the expectations were. And the numbers are there. In fact, we're actually growing a little bit. The people not wanting to go to charters, and that's a good sign. We're welcoming you back.
Give Sylvia $5.5 million.
Whatever, it's an unusual welcome. But I've had the opportunity at my office, because I have a conference room and I allow my employees to take they're a small family. I love them take their children there because they all play together in the evenings anyway. And I've watched them, get online and everything else, and I'm just pleased. My
Did
wife's
you,
a teacher. I watched her kids.
tell them how to eat?
Yesterday was just very difficult, but everybody figured out some way to work through it.
Did you tell them not to eat like Mexicans?
It's working very, very well. So welcome back, everybody.
Just asking.
Mr. Garcia?
El tapón.
Teachers, staff, it's the beginning of a new year. And,
Boost your
you know what?
chair.
We need to be patient because, again, this is a trying period, but together we will get over this. And it's going to
Shut
take that
up.
effort of togetherness, and I know we can do it. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone.
To give Celia $5.5 million.
Thank you. I did my welcome at the beginning of the meeting, so I'm going to turn it over to our deputies to say a few words.
Oh,
for
God.
Dr. Trevino and Dr. Cantu, who represent every single department, and they've been working very hard with all their staff and the campuses to get this year off the ground. So I'd like to start with Dr. Trevino and then Dr. Cantu to say a few words also.
Thank you so
Thank you,
much.
Dr. Davis. Thank you.
See you tomorrow morning.
Members of the board for giving us an opportunity to address the community out there. So to all the boys and girls out there that are logging on, thank you for coming over and picking up your resources and your materials. Please know that we're here to serve you 100%. Your teachers are super excited to be working with you. Although remotely, they're with you there every day and every step of the way. We want to assure you that we will be.
She'll have control of that money.
You as far as academics.
She controls the board.
and social
She
needs
controls
that you may have,
administration.
any emotional
She gets
needs
control of that
you have,
money.
please know that the
$5.5 million.
Please reach out to your
What they
teachers and
say,
administrators.
what they said that they were going to use it for makes absolutely no sense
So welcome back,
whatsoever.
members. Por favor, entienden que aquí estamos para servirles y como le podemos ayudar, aquí estamos. Thank you very much. Okay, Dr. Gatti?
Thank you, Madam President, Dr. Gutierrez, for the opportunity to welcome our staff and our students and our families. We had a wonderful day yesterday. Dr. Gutierrez talked about, there were some things that we are addressing. It is a very unprecedented opening. However, we have been able to problem solve. The support team from operations has done an incredible job, and they've stepped up. We needed them at the campus, and they stepped up and said, we're here to help. So every member of this of BISD is a big shout out, because we could not have opened the school year without the support of all our administrators and our staff, our bus drivers, our.
What happened to
center.
Sharp?
We have so many people that carried a piece of a puzzle to put a huge puzzle together and have an incredible day yesterday. So I would like to thank all our staff and our students. Welcome. Thank you for choosing BISD. We're excited of the fact that school has begun, and that's hard work. And so it's exciting to see students learning. Welcome back, everyone.
Thank you.
Oh, my.
Second.
Thank you. Please vote. Motion passes 6-0 unanimous.
This meeting is now adjourned. Thank you, everyone. Have a wonderful afternoon.
Anyway, that's how stupid these people are. Look, at the start of this special called board meeting, they start saying, well, we need to get more PPE, we need to get more stuff, we need to get more hotspots, more computers. That's what they stated. And the reason that they were going to get it was supposedly for distance learning. Well, if you read the item, it clearly states, recommend approve to purchase COVID-19 equipment, hotspots, devices, temperature readers, desk shields, and reliable bottle stations in the amount not to exceed $5.5 million. $5.5 million. Now, the reasoning behind this was equipment being purchased in preparation for when COVID-19 threat is completely minimized and it is safe to allow students and teachers to be able to come back onto campus to do school learning safely. Does that make sense to anyone out there? Anyone? And let me bring it up. Let me take you out. Where is the money coming from? This is a good question. It's an amazing question. The money is coming from the general fund. They are eating up the general fund and the future boards. Our new board in November, if y'all give us your vote, are going to have to deal with this. And it's embarrassing. There it is. There it is recommend approval. I'll try to make it bigger. Recommend approval to purchase COVID-19 equipment, hotspots, devices, temperature readers, desk shields, and refillable bottle stations in the amount not to exceed $5,554,000. Equipment being purchased in preparation for when COVID-19 threat is completely minimized and it is safe to allow students and teachers to be able to come back to school and do in-school learning. That's the reason for the money. Guys, there's no in-school learning. I'm trying to get my daughter textbooks, and Hannah said to go online, fill out the request form, and the form doesn't come out, and she says it don't have access to the form. It's crazy. Money to pay for her lawyers. It's just crazy, man. With the 5.5, BISD should pay for the internet bills. Let me tell you, they couldn't use those 5.5 to give teachers a raise to make sure they had everything they needed. They could have if they would have prepared back in April when I was out here screaming my lungs out. Prepare for since April. Is that Michelle Wolf? I don't know. Honestly, I am so disappointed in this board. Guys, let me tell you, and again, as crazy as all this may sound, there's just ratas. Blatant thieves on that board. Blatant thieves on that board. Blatant thieves. And the head of that snake, the head of those thieves is Sylvia Atkinson. It's not Rona. I ate an awesome strawberry. Chocolate covered strawberry. That makes no sense that they are buying for remote learning when face-to-face instruction restarts. And this is so contradictory. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because it seems like they just pieced everything together. ¿Quién se está mochando con los 5 millones? Silvia. O sea, it's like they just all of a sudden put this stuff together in order to free up that money so that they could spend somehow. Let me see. They're going to drain BISD dry because they know they are on the way out and want to leave everyone hanging. Where is the high authority debate? That's another thing that we need to make sure that we instill. Guys, we need to make sure that we be very, very careful with spending huge amounts of money right before an election. It's like these people know that their time is up and they're trying to drain every single dollar from the general fund. That's what they're trying to do. Hola, Juan Carlos. Saludos. Whenever there's money involved, Sylvia Atkinson is there. Isn't it ironic that at every single meeting when they vote on some form of funds whatsoever, she's there present? It's crazy. Guys, I wanted to bring you the special meeting so y'all can see firsthand what's going on. Again, it's there. It's plain and simple. I'm not going to show the other meeting. It's just a waste of time. This is the one that was concerning. The other one in regards to the policy, we were successful in switching the policy back. So now now the policy is going to be switched back to all employees are going to get the protection of their job, of their livelihood. So in that respect, a win. Se maneja $600 million. Guys, I'm going to go have lunch. I'm going to go take a nap. Estoy cansadito. Have a great lunch. Have a great afternoon. I love y'all. Stay safe. And I need your help this November. Please. God bless. Be good to each other. And please be good to me.